So glutathione does those. What else does it do? It is the sole protector of the mitochondrial DNA. What does that mean? As long as the DNA maintains its structure and its integrity, the cell can't mutate. But when it's compromised or broken, then the cell is vulnerable to mutation. We don't want our cells to mutate. You know, that starts a cascading effect, and we won't even mention the word, but we don't want that. As long as we have adequate glutathiones and higher glutathiones, most cells won't mutate because we're protecting the mitochondrial DNA. Now, what breaks down the mitochondrial DNA? Well, it's the chemical load in the cell. For example, do you know that right now you have at least 200 industrial chemicals in your body? And glutathione is the primary detoxifier of the cell. It has this sticky sulfhydryl molecule that sticks to the toxin, the chemical, and escorts it out of the cell. Pretty cool. Now, they did a test back, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, the CDC, and they wanted to see how many of 143 industrial chemicals the average adult carried around. And do they carry around 10, 20, 12? If so, which ones do they carry around? And they didn't know. So they tested 2,000 people, 2,000 adults. And they were so shocked by the results, they didn't make them public for a while. The results showed that every single individual had all 143 chemicals in their body. Not good, because those chemicals damage the DNA. Now, a few years later, they decided how many of these chemicals end up in the fetuses. So they tested the umbilical cords of about 2,000 babies that had been delivered. And they wanted to see, this time they tested for 200 chemicals. And what does the average fetus carry around? Same answer. All 200 they tested for were in every single umbilical cord. And that was shocking and very disturbing. And so glutathione, as it turns out, is the detoxifier, as I mentioned. And we need our glutathione levels to get up. We need to raise glutathione levels. But that's not what glutathione is best known for. Glutathione is best known as the master antioxidant. Now, what I'm going to tell you about that is another thing that these doctors hadn't heard before, because they came up afterwards and we talked in the workshops, we talked in the main session. Well, we all know about antioxidants. What's the role of an antioxidant? Every cell in your body is attacked 10 to 20,000 times a day by free radicals. Now, a free radical is a scavenger or a thief. It wants to steal an electron from the cell. And when it does, it creates oxidative stress in the cell, which accelerates the aging of the cell. It also introduces inflammation to the cell. Everything that's bad happens when the free radical is successful. So to counter that, your body turns to antioxidants. Now, there are two types of antioxidants. There's the kind we bring in, exogenous antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin E, CoQ10. Then there's the ones that are actually manufactured by the body, like superoxide dismutase, catalase, and glutathione. Now, all antioxidants have one electron to discharge, kind of like I grew up in Arizona, a 6-shooter that has six chambers for bullets, but there's only one bullet. So it fires off and sequesters or neutralizes the free radical, but now it's spent. It can't do any more good. And except glutathione recycles vitamin C and vitamin E up to 5 times. That means it reloads. So discharging an electron to neutralize a free radical, glutathione recycles it, do it again, recycles it, do it again, up to 5 times, okay? That's a miracle. Now, here's why they call glutathione the miracle molecule, because it recycles itself. It dispenses an electron that then sequesters the free radical, and then it makes another, it does another one, recycles so many times that science can't put a number on it. And the numbers I've heard have been amazing, but it just keeps doing that. until it's completely obliterated, until that molecule can no longer do anything. So glutathione is your miracle molecule, but that's not why they call it the master antioxidant. You see, there's a spectrum of free radicals, different sources, different compositions, different structures. Each antioxidant can take out one type, but it can't take out any of the others. So vitamin C might take out that one, but it can't take out the others. Vitamin E might take out that one, but it can't take out the others. That's how they're all monofocus. They're like this hotel key. In Mexico City, that was my hotel key. And it would always open my door. But one night I forgot my number, not because I was I had drank something, because I don't drink, but just because I forgot my number. I didn't know if I was 2607 or 2606. I knew I was one of those, or I thought maybe 24. So I took my key up to one, red light, nothing happened. And then I went to another one, nothing happened. And finally I went to 2607, and I put it up, and a little green light comes on and the door unlocks. You see, the hotel key, like all those other antioxidants, are monofocused. It can only open one door, it can't open any others. Well, glutathione is like having the master key. A friend of mine owns a hotel chain, big hotels, 400 or 500 rooms, owns quite a few of them. And he has a master key to each hotel. Now, that master key will open any door, including the accounting department, including the kitchen, all the important ones, and any other room. That's pretty cool. That's a master key. That's what glutathione. It is the master antioxidant because it can sequester and neutralize any free radical, regardless of source, structure, or composition. Nothing else can touch that. I heard one scientist one time say, glutathione is not just the master antioxidant. It's 1,000,000 times more powerful, more important than all the other antioxidants combined. That's a pretty cool statement, especially from that scientist that I'm talking about. So anyway, that's the good news about glutathione. How does it affect you? It affects everything about you. It affects how your body works, how your organs work, how your tissues work, your skin, how your skin performs. Is your skin healthy? Does it get sick? Everything, every single thing about us, glutathione makes a huge impact on. And how you go through your day, physically and mentally. How fast you become fatigued physically and mentally. How fast you recover from that fatigue. How fast you recover from exercise. It affects everything. It's all glutathione dependent. So there's nothing. It is truly your miracle molecule. In fact, without glutathione, there'd be no oxygen-based life on Earth, which means there'd be no plants, no trees, no fish, no animals, no people. None of us would exist without that gift from God, that incredible glutathione molecule. Well, that's the good news. The bad news is it declines as we age by anywhere from 8 to 15% per decade. And so as it's declining, all the assault on the cells from the outside, the bacteria, the virus, the chemicals, the free radicals, they don't go down. They stay the same as they were when we were 20 years old. But now we don't have the bullets. Now we don't have the ability to defend. So what happens? Accelerated aging. We age prematurely. We age more rapidly than we should. More inflammation. We know that inflammation is our mortal enemy. Now let's go through the cycle one more time. Free radical that isn't extinguished, neutralized, or sequestered creates oxidative stress in the cell. The oxidative stress accelerates the aging of the cell and creates inflammation and makes the cell vulnerable to just about everything, okay? So bad news, it declines. So why don't we go to the store and buy glutathione capsules? Real easy. Glutathione and its precursor amino acid L-cysteine is very fragile. It has this little self-hydromolecule, kind of like a little flag, and that breaks, and then the whole thing breaks and it becomes useless in the cell. Doesn't matter how much you take, it's not going to make it to the cells. It's going to just die in the digestive tract. Now, to get around that, people have come up with some pretty cool approaches, and some are pretty effective.